learn about the difference between why we needed them out of the task force. In other words, obviously, if there's some kind of actual terrorist event going on, they have phones, they have computer networks, they can communicate with one another. But why is it important to keep them out of the task force?
Really, Mike, I credit you for having done so much to teach me as a young lawyer about this, right? Is that the gap that many of us point to is they're doing these things and they're not being transparent about what they're doing. But the real sort of bigger and underlying problem is they're not supposed to be doing these things. They're not supposed to show up at someone's house and ask them about what they blogged. They're not supposed to go to someone's place of work and ask them which mosque they went to. And so what we found over and over again is, by the way, that the FBI refused, and this is where it was different between San Francisco and Portland. In Portland, at least they showed up to defend themselves. In San Francisco, they never showed up to a public hearing. They never publicly answered questions, and very often tried to even limit the ability of the police department to answer those questions. But they were very often lobbying, and even in some instances, as we discovered, as we got hold of various documents through Public Records Act requests, through litigation, and through public pressure, also frequently just lying about whether, the officers could do their job without breaking local laws. All the while also advocating for changes to the department general orders, right? And so just a complete disregard for the hard-earned local standards that had been established. And I think this is also why Portland, San Francisco, and Oakland are so special, because in addition to really great state protections, there are also really important city and county protections that have been long fought over the years. And so what we learned essentially was that the FBI was acknowledging behind closed doors that they could not follow local law. And if the local police department would give them officers, those officers wouldn't be able to follow local law either. Those officers would not be able to be transparent either. And so part of reaching the breaking point in 2017 for San Francisco is not only are the community organizations not letting up, it's also that the FBI is holding on to an archaic position, one that does not keep pace with what's expected in progressive cities like these. That says essentially, we get that you have no standards, we have standards. And if we're going to give you police officers that we pay for, that also, wear our uniform and carry our badge, and whose actions then have a negative impact on the reputation of the entire department, we're going to need you to behave a certain way. And if you can't, then it won't work.